Everyone, I've been sitting on this video topic for a couple of months now. I've been struggling to find the motivation to make it because it's just so much, but I finally found the motivation today to start recording and telling you guys, especially after the most recent videos this guy posted. Like, I can literally feel myself rapidly aging trying to think about all this bullshit and how I can cohesively put it together because it's just so complex. This is one of the corniest motherfuckers I've ever had the displeasure of researching. So, Vampdaddy Evil, I don't even want to fucking call him that. I'm gonna have to find another name to call him later into the video, is an alternative TikTok creator with a very humble following of 10.4k followers. He's very new to the community of Lolcows, and he had a very brief relationship with Sick and Pretty, also known as Ray, who has been covered by YouTubers who are much better at this than I am. So if you want to know about her, you should probably watch after this video because she is very deeply ingrained in this whole situation. I don't know a whole lot about her aside from that she's racist and a weirdo just in general, but it's crazy to see the intersection of two horrible people suddenly like being together. And it's honestly laughable, but also really sad once we get into the details of it because this man's pushing 30 and she was 18. He is admittedly a groomer, which he goes back on in the public sphere, but he has admitted it in Discord chats, which I'm going to get into as well. He has this really weird obsession with anime dolls that are sized like children and are posable. I don't even really know how to summarize how disturbing that shit is without showing you guys, so you're just gonna have to wait to see because it's so much worse than what I can try to describe to you. And to top it all off, he claims to be a person of interest in the missing persons case of his ex-girlfriend. So it goes without saying, huge trigger warning just in general for all the things I mentioned, as this is going to talk about stalking, DV, grooming, pedophilia, and implied murder, which is a first that I have not covered yet in another video. Vampdaddy Evil, also known as Eric Grayson, as well as several other names, originally gained traction on TikTok in early 2023. His videos started off pretty innocuous, posting fitness and general goth subculture content with silly, mostly uncontroversial captions, as well as a few videos about his brief battle with cancer. It soon devolved into him posting really ridiculous, attention-seeking rage bait as an attempt to get more views on his profile, I assume, referencing his right-wing political views and his support for Trump, which is highly contentious in the alternative subculture, as well as defending Lucifer Valentine, a movie director known for making thinly veiled, incredibly violent fetish content, primarily involving the sexual exploitation of women. Obviously, this drew massive criticism from pretty much anyone who had any clue what he was talking about, and it seems he really thrives on the infamy he's gained for making posts like these, as he refuses to stop making these posts no matter how much backlash he gets. Beyond the rage bait, things started to take a much darker turn. Following his usual rage bait posts, he started making videos about Ray, also known as Sick and Pretty, an 18-year-old girl infamous in the alternative community for being a racist comm girl lolcow, saying that it was gross that she was a teenage girl who was being bullied by adults.
Yeah, I did, and I want to give a special shout out to all the people who bullied her and put her self-esteem down to make it easy for me.
Defending a teenage girl from being bullied by adults seems innocuous enough in itself, but the key phrase that he says is, "Shout out to everyone who made it easy for me." So what exactly does he mean by that? And it's essentially foreshadowing for the horrors that you are about to experience. I also really like this little thing he did right here. This guy is literally like the king of all Discord mods. I can't make this shit up. The reason this gets weird is because it's alleged that before she turned 18, he was one of her top live gifters on her TikTok live streams, and soon after she turned 18 and made an OnlyFans, he was one of her first subscribers. And I've said this before, but I'm going to remind you, this man is pushing 30 if he's not 30 already. Very soon after her 18th birthday, they started talking and then dating, though their relationship proved to be very brief and tumultuous. When we get into the messages that were exchanged between them, it's nothing less than predatory and extremely disturbing. He would send her thoroughly possessive and abusive messages, even admitting that his intent was to groom her, and that she was lucky to even be graced with the opportunity to be groomed by him. And if I'm correct, I'm fairly certain that these messages were sent within literally, less than a month of them even knowing each other. He expressed a desire to own her completely and said that he was jealous that he wasn't the first man to have the opportunity to groom her, as she'd been groomed in the past by other guys. He admitted that being sweet to her was only a facade to get closer to her before the fucked up shit, and mockingly told her, "But you're stupid enough to be into that," before going on a tirade about how unworthy she is to even be in his presence and how much she needs him to ever be worth something. Citing her history of failed relationships, self-harm, and suicidal behavior, saying, "Besides, you wouldn't want to watch me go balls deep in another woman, would you?" And then proceeding to drop her home address in the chat and insist he'll be angry if she doesn't confirm or deny that that's where she lives. It seems soon after she blocked him for obvious reasons, and he went on TikTok saying that rather than a girlfriend, she's more of a daughter or a pet to him.
I'm going to go ahead and talk about the whole Ray situation. There seems to be a lot of anger, disdain, and misinformation going around everywhere. So I want to go ahead and clear this up. I do not view Ray as a girlfriend. I view her more like a daughter. I view her more like a pet. I really hope this can go ahead and clear some things up for you guys.
Then he posted another TikTok that reads, "It's okay that you blocked me. I know you didn't mean it. You're not in trouble. Daddy isn't mad at you. He's right here when you're ready." The abusive behavior he exhibited towards her was by no means out of character for him, as he's posted several videos glorifying domestic violence and bragging about his role as the abuser in all his past relationships, which, in my opinion, he does as a combination of both rage bait and as a desperate attempt to gain the attention of psychologically vulnerable teenage girls. Eric has also been very open online about his long list of stalking charges against multiple women and allegedly even men. From the screenshots he's posted, he has seemingly endless legal cases pertaining to this dating back possibly years, and he's apparently really proud of himself about it, referring to stalking as a hobby for him. He posted videos about going to court due to these events of stalking people, saying apparently visiting people at work without their permission isn't allowed, as well as a video implying a woman choosing a 2-year restraining order instead of a 4-year one means she wants him back. Another TikTok groomer / Lolcow going by the name of Dagger became a major subject of fixation for him. He uploaded this video of a framed image of him covered in questionable liquids.
"Please don't scroll, I need your help. I'll go ahead and put a picture of what I need help with up right now. I don't know if any of you know much about cleaning picture frames. I usually just wash this one off whenever it gets dirty, but for some reason, I suppose, unfortunately, this one got dirty and I was feeling pretty tired, and I didn't wash it right away. I need help cleaning my picture frame. I woke up, washed it, and as you can see, it is still horribly stained. I've tried everything to get this thing clean. I'm desperately hoping that maybe one of you will have some tips or advice."
Upon a follower of Dagger asking him if they were dating, Dagger alleged that Eric was stalking him and had mailed broken doll parts to his grandmother, and the doll lore is something that we'll get into in a minute. More recently, he's developed a fixation on Callie the Flower Girl, another infamous lolcow on TikTok known for scamming people and living solely off internet donations. But the thing is, just like Ray, she's also significantly younger than him. He started to message her offering to let her move in with him, to which she seemingly did not respond, and he continued blowing up her phone, trying to manipulate her into trusting him, saying how she's so beautiful and how he wants to help her heal. Leading up to all this, he had posted videos of her similar to the ones he posted about Dagger, where we can see her in a picture frame next to a pair of handcuffs, a collar, and writing all over the frames. Which, allow me to remind you again, she's like 18 and he is literally 30 fucking years old. This is, like, actually insane behavior. One important thing to note here is that Callie has a boyfriend who Eric was trying to get her to break up with for him, and she really did not seem pleased with the idea of that. However, in some of the screenshots, it looks like she may have had a very brief talking stage with him. On Snapchat, she responded saying, "Your ex-girlfriend is missing and you're the main suspect. Do not try to butter me up and love bomb me when your heart holds no love and you could never mean anything more to me than a piece of dirt on my floor." Which leads us to arguably the most disturbing and concerning part of the entire story. Eric has mentioned in multiple videos that his ex-girlfriend mysteriously went missing. In some posts, he's claimed her disappearance had nothing to do with him and that he just so happened to be one of the last people she was around at the time she went missing. He posted a really unsettling video about it, which reads, "Hey guys, I have unfortunate news for all my fans and followers. Earlier today, I was spoken to by detectives regarding the disappearance of my former girlfriend, who will remain unnamed. Though I had nothing to do with this, as she randomly left my apartment one day without telling me,
It has been suggested to me by counsel that I reduce my online presence until the proper authorities can fully understand. Thank you to all the people who think I am hot. I will resume posting at a later time, likely within 2 months. It was around 12 days later that he started posting about Ray, so he definitely didn't wait 2 months like he was allegedly advised to do. While he claims he had no involvement in the case, he's posted multiple videos and reposted content implying abusive and homicidal intent. One post that he made reads, "I told her I was in an abusive relationship. She thought that I was the victim." Another says, "Are you planning on fucking me or murdering me?" To which the response is, "Whatever makes me come faster." One of many concerning reposts related to this, titled Top 5 Male Canon Events, references murder, keeping trophies after the victim's last words, visiting the family and helping with the investigation, and casually dismembering and eating a body. Another says, "I don't regret what I did, for now." This leads into the next topic, his erotic fixation on dolls and allegorical references to murder and body disposal. Eric has a strange obsession with posable anime dolls, which are able to be disassembled into parts and are often concerningly small, if you know what I'm implying by that. He's posted several videos with these dolls, using doll-related metaphors to describe disturbing situations. For example, "I remember when my last doll broke. I was so sad. I remember having to put the pieces into separate bags to move the broken doll easier when discarding it. Remember to dispose of a doll that is used and broken, as keeping it will get you in trouble. Disposing of the doll's head separately will make it more difficult for people to tell which doll it is, in addition to making it easier to carry due to the reduced weight. Personally, I like to separate into several pieces and then place the pieces into garbage bags filled with kitty litter, to help keep things smelling nice before disposal in heavily wooded areas. Remember that it's only a missing doll if it's never found." In another video, he says, "When you remember how she helped you hide the broken dolls even though she knew that someday she'd be next." Part of me believes that this is solely engagement bait because he knows that if he gets his followers to believe that he was the reason why she went missing, it will help boost his popularity. However, it's really strange to make posts like these with the gravity of the situation that he's currently in with his ex-girlfriend and being a suspect in the case. He made a post alleging that he was being questioned by the police for making jokes, and claimed that his house was investigated over suspicious Discord messages. As of recent, he started talking about having SA allegations against him, but he hasn't really elaborated on it a whole lot. I really want to believe that he's been making these posts solely to chase clout, because it makes no sense why he would post things like this if he was truly involved in a murder. But even as a best case scenario, using the disappearance of your ex-girlfriend to boost your own popularity is really disturbing in itself, but given his history, it does make sense. It's really hard to tell what's real and what's just rage bait. It seems like he gets off on his own infamy and humiliation in some strange way, but as his pinned post says, "I will not be clearing up any rumors or allegations. If you think I did it, I probably did do it, and if I didn't, I might." As of yesterday, he posted a photo of him next to Callie the Flower Girl with a police officer standing behind them, so God only knows what kind of content we're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks. And that's really all I can say about this so far. Do with this information what you will, and I'm interested to see what theories others might have on the situation.